Hi, I am Ahmad Kohar from Universitas Negeri Surabaya, Indonesia. In this occasion, I would like to present my research with the title Profiling Context-Based Mathematics Tasks Developed by Novice PISA-like Task Designers. So this was motivated by the need of improving Indonesian students' mathematical literacy. Some efforts has been done by many researchers and practitioners regarding the effort of improving Indonesian students' mathematical literacy. Some of them are developing curriculum and its supplementary materials which support students' mathematical literacy, and then providing teacher professional learning concerning on the quality improvements of context-based tasks designed by teachers, and providing mathematics textbooks, compiling more number of context-based problems, and supporting teachers in bringing context-based tasks into their daily teaching. And the last point that makes me interested is the need of encouraging research topics on developing context-based tasks, like in PISA tasks, designed by student teachers as their final projects. Yeah. So as novice PISA-like task designers, they have met some problems or challenge for them to design PISA-like mathematics tasks. Some of them are designing PISA-like tasks should be plausible and having sufficient information, making the problem authentic, and using accessible language and higher order thinking skills. Yeah. And then also the problem should be interesting for 15-year-olds, yeah, neither too hard, neither too easy, has accessible and equitable for students of different genders, cultural religions, and any conditions. Yeah. So the aims of the study is to report the profile of context-based tasks like in PISA tasks designed by Indonesian student teachers. So the profile include the item profile provided in the PISA mathematics framework, and the quality of tasks is regarded as authenticity of the context, plausibility of the task, and the complexity of the task. So, as you see that context can be defined as the aspects of real world in which mathematical problem is embedded. In a wider perspective, context may also be referred to not only real-world setting, but also fantasy situations, or even to the formal worlds of mathematics. So this was the framework of how we analyze the problems or the tasks designed by novice PISA-like task designers. Then, as you see that the nature of context-based tasks, yeah, regarding the level of authenticity, we use the level use of context, yeah, from zero order use of context, which is the context is not used or to interpret mathematical results or arguments. And the second is first order use of context, in which relevant informations, variable or relationships are identified within the problems. And the second order use of context concern on relevant variables, relationship, or assumptions, yeah, to be defined or retrieved for the mathematical formulations, with the context being used to judge the adequateness of the results of the arguments in relation to the original problem. And for assessing the quality of the context-based tasks, we use the dimensions for assessing the quality of the opposed problems, from whether the problems is plausible, whether the problems has sufficient information, and how its complexity. So for the complexity, we 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 assess the student teachers problems regarding 5 levels, from lower level cognitive demands, yeah, in which memorization is concerned, yeah, to the higher level cognitive demands, yeah, procedures without connections, procedures with connections, and doing mathematics. So the research methods, yeah, we involve 14 student teachers from 7 universities in Indonesia, in which if each of them, yeah, submitted from 8 to 15 items of the context-based tasks, yeah, within their developmental study. So we have the total of 124 items. So to analyze, we use the PISA framework, yeah, and the plausibility, sufficiency of information, complexity, and also level of use of. So this is the table, yeah, showing the detailed information of each of the domains we used to assess student teachers problems, yeah, from context, content, process, and item format, plausibility, cognitive demand, and level of context use. And then for the results, yeah, we gain some informations that the frequency of context-based tasks, yeah, regarding the task profile, we, as you see that the majority of the context used for their problems is occupational, yeah. No, I mean societal, sorry. And the content, the majority of the problems is regarded as space and shape. And the process is regarded as employ, yeah. And the item format is regarded as close constructed. Now I will show you some examples, yeah, some examples of how we categorize or assess the student teachers problems. So the first is about pulse rate, yeah, pulse rate. We categorize it as scientific problems because it's related to biological information, yeah. And then for the content categories, we include it as change and relationship problem because it includes some mathematical equations or algebraic form, yeah, as you see from this form. And we also include this problem into interpret problem because the dominant process, mathematical literacy process of this problem is related to interpret, which means as a problem solver, she or he need to give judgment whether this statement, for example, is correct or not, and then support this judgment by mathematical argumentations. Yeah, for the second problems, we have this context about this con, for example. This is regarded as personal context because of the direct information, the direct personal, yeah, problems, yeah. And then this is include as quantity problem because it's related to discount or percentage that every problem solver need to know or understand. Yeah, the other one, yeah, regarding the quality of context-based tags, yeah. As you see from the table that the majority of the problems designed by PISA-like tax designers is plausible problem with sufficient information. And regarding cognitive demand, we see that lower level cognitive demands are the majority of the problems. And regarding the level of context use, yeah, we see that the zero or the use of context is the majority of the problems, which means that many of the problems designed by them are regarded as camouflage context or not authentic context. Okay, this is one example of how we assess or categorize the problems regarding the quality of the tags. Yeah. As you see that this problem has a context of fish cultivation. But if you see the figure here, these figures are not directly related to the situation or the context of fish cultivation, right? which means that whether or not this figure is given in this problem, it does not influence how the problem solver solve this problem. Yeah, we can substitute this figure with another figure, for example. And another example is like this. Why this problem, for example, is included as first order use of context? Because if you see that the information about the number of visitors per hour given in this line diagram is relevant information that need to be used by every task solver to solve this problem. Yeah, and the other problem, for example, yeah, why this problem, for example, is include as second order use of context? Because if you want to interpret how the water within this barrel get out, yeah, or something like this, you need to make some assumptions about the height, yeah, about the height or the rate, the velocity of the water or the debit of the water of this problem. So you need to make some assumptions, yeah. So as discussions, yeah, we found that there were only a few items with scientific context, yeah, and the content of change and relationship. And we also found that the problem solver, the problem poser, only put irrelevant profile, primarily regarding content categories. And also we found that the use of camouflage context seems become crucial issue for the student teachers, because we can see that many of the problems were regarded as zero order use of context problem. Yeah. And to conclude, we would like to highlight that most of the items were plausible and have sufficient information and limited scientific context, yeah, many personal contexts, and limited problems of using content chains and relationship, and many of them are employee process problem. And also the items were identified to have problem with camouflage context and have less number of open constructed items. Regarding language issue, the task design mostly meet the problem of having too much information, language ambiguity, the use of unfamiliar terms, and the use of unspecific units of context. But we found a very positive finding, that we found that the problems of the problems designed by PISA-like task designers are very various, which means the problems have variety of context spanning from personal into a scientific context. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.